Hi, this is Amy from Gerrie Electric, and this video is going to show you some of the configuration and customization you can do of your Factorytalk Analytics for Devices, or Shelby unit. We're going to start by logging in and going to the control panel in our Factorytalk Analytics for Devices webpage. So we're going to click on that gear in the upper right hand corner and proceed to our unit and type in the password to get into the administrative level of the control panel. You can see here the control panel has a few different options on the left-hand side: System, Device Detection, Update, Ethernet 1, 2, and Aliases. We covered updating in a previous video, so I want to go over the Ethernet options here. We're going to start by looking at the Device Detection menu. If you'd like to manually configure how Shelby finds devices on your network, you're going to do that under this menu. So you can see your options. You can do a single IP address or a range of IP addresses, and you can either include or exclude those IP addresses in Shelby's configuration. If you'd watched our unboxing video, you'll know that our Shelby appliance had recently found 21 devices on our network. 3 of those devices were ControlLogix processors with Ethernet cards at 192.168.11.12 and .13. I'm now going to force our Shelby appliance to exclude 192.168.1.12, and when we go back into our Shelby dashboard, we'll see that the devices has changed from our initial 21. If there was a single or a range of IP addresses that absolutely had to be included in Shelby's configuration, you would do that here. So I'm going to make sure we include 192.168.1.11. Because Factorytalk Analytics for Devices comes in the VersaView housing, it has 2 network interface cards on board. So you can see on the left-hand side here, we have Ethernet 1 and Ethernet 2. Clicking on Ethernet 1 will show us the IP address of that card that we configured during our initial setup, as well as other information like the MAC address. Clicking on Ethernet 2 will show us that second Ethernet card, which we have the option to assign to an address on a different subnet. If you'd like to connect your Shelby unit's 2 network cards to 2 completely different addresses, this is how you would set the second IP address. So you can see I can type in an address on a different network, and clicking on Subnet Mask, I have a drop-down menu of all the different subnet masks that are available for this unit. Once you've made the changes in the required address for that network card, and you click on Save Configuration, Shelby will let you know that the settings are not automatically applied and you first need to reboot your unit. To do this, click on System on the left-hand side of the screen, and then navigate to Reboot Appliance. Once the appliance is finished rebooting, you can go back into the control panel to verify your changes. The next change I'm going to make is to the device aliases. This way, in Shelby's Explorer, instead of showing me 1756-EN2T, it's going to show me Ethernet card 1, for example. When you click on Device Aliases, you'll have the option to either export or import a CSV file. I'm going to click on Export Device Aliases, and Shelby's going to give me that CSV file to edit. This CSV file will show me the address of all of my modules, so the IP address or which slot in the rack it currently occupies. You'll also notice this device list only contains PLCs at 192.168.1.11 and .13. That's because in the previous step, I told my Shelby unit to ignore 192.168.1.12. I initially had 21 devices in my list, and now I have 15. I'm just going to speed through here and fill in all the aliases for my cards. Assuming you had an existing list, you can copy and paste those from your other file into this one and then upload that into the Shelby unit. I'm going to resave this file as a CSV, and then I'm ready to bring that information back into Shelby. From my Shelby interface, I'm going to click on Import CSV File, navigate to where I've saved that device aliases, and you'll see it's been successfully imported into my configuration. If I now click on the Explorer in my Shelby interface, you'll see that the aliases exist for each of these cards, and they're linked to the IP address and slot that I defined in my CSV file. This will now make it a lot easier to track down and troubleshoot any of the issues that Shelby notifies you about. That's it for this video. This was Amy Carter with Gerrie Electric, showing you how to configure and customize your Shelby unit.